Let's start with a quote straight from the universe of one of the sagas in the spotlight this week. "I have been resurrected, and now I shall rule this world." Remember the first title in the Onimusha saga? That's right, it's back. But we'll get to that in a moment. Good evening, my friends. Another weekend has flown by, and with a new week beginning, there's one thing all Mondays have in common. It's time for the third and final part of our weekly news segment, What's New with the News. You already know today's theme, and yes, the Onimusha saga is indeed making a return, with a video where the director clears up some details. We also have a title from the universe created by George R.R. Martin's books, a game that will give us nightmares, and the latest release from Bloober Team, which has already accustomed us to some pretty mind-bending experiences. Buckle up and come along, because the news never stops. YouTube, how are you? Did you have a good weekend? There are so many new games and so little time to play them all. Looks like a new Bleach video game just dropped, but before we even have time to say Bankai, you can go ahead and start the video. Let's start with the usual visual novel update. Nitroplus and Nitro Arts Doll's Nest have announced that their new visual novel will be released for PC via Steam on April 24th, with a digital art book as a bonus until May 23rd. Nitro Arts recently changed its name and is responsible for planning and graphic production, while Nitroplus handles production. Nitroplus is known for dark-themed visual novels and iconic collaborations. This title is only for the strongest, no heart conditions allowed. Autopsy Simulator, a psychological horror and medical simulation game, arrives on PS5 and Xbox Series on April 3rd and is already available for PC. Players take on the role of Jack Hanman, a pathologist who discovers his deceased wife's ring inside a corpse, triggering a supernatural mystery. The Dead Memories campaign mode combines realistic autopsies, developed with forensic doctors, with a dark 1990s setting. The game is developed by Woodland Games and published by Team 17.
Christ. What a dream.
And now, a sequel to a well-known RTS. Endless Legend 2 has revealed its first faction, the Kin of Sheridan, ideal for defensive players. Based on the entrenchment mechanic, the more fortified their cities are, the more bonuses and abilities they unlock. The faction descends from the bodyguards of the United Empire's Emperor in Endless Space 2 and has been stranded on Sayada for decades, defending against attacks and a hostile climate. The game encourages building walls and military districts for a defense-focused strategy.
Elite soldiers clad in titanic power armor who can turn the tide of battle. It's up.
A return to Westeros? Absolutely. We're all in. Warner Bros. Discovery is expanding the Game of Thrones universe with new series and games, including Game of Thrones Kingsroad, developed by Netmarble. The action game for PC, iOS, and Android introduces a new story and characters, focusing on protecting House Tyre through combat with various classes. Kingsroad is set for release in Q2 2025 and already has a new trailer available. What if Fallout Story was based on real events? Rebellion Developments has released a pre-launch trailer for Atomfall, an action survival game arriving on March 27th for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Inspired by the 1957 Windscale disaster, the game takes place 5 years after the incident in a fictional quarantine zone in the British countryside. Atomfall blends combat and survival in a post-disaster setting. A publisher of this importance couldn't be left out. Assassin's Creed Shadows launches on March 20th, 2025 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series, after multiple delays. Set in feudal Japan, the game features 2 playable characters, a female shinobi focused on stealth and a samurai inspired by Yasuke who engages in more direct combat. The gameplay retains RPG and stealth elements with some new mechanics. The Ubisoft Forward 2024 trailer highlighted combat, particularly with Yasuke. Before we wrap up, a long-awaited return for fans. Capcom has released a new trailer for Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny Remaster, highlighting the new Hell mode, where a single hit can be fatal. The 2002 classic returns with enhanced visuals, keeping the story of Jubei Yagyu's battle against Nobunaga Oda in feudal Japan. The game includes new mechanics, such as an affinity system, branching story paths, and modern improvements like autosave and skippable cutscenes. And to finish, one of the most anticipated titles of 2025, Bloober Team has unveiled a behind-the-scenes video for Cronos, The New Dawn, a survival horror set in a post-apocalyptic 1980s Poland. The game features time travel, battles against relentless enemies, and a fragmented, twisted narrative. The Dev Diary, presented at Future Games Show 2025, provides details on the protagonist, the desolate world, and new gameplay mechanics. Cronos. The New Dawn launches in 2025 for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Let's wrap things up with a quote from a Ubisoft game universe. "We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins." One of the most well-known phrases from the Assassin's Creed universe. Which news did you like the most? We had another visual novel, a genre that has been gaining quite a few fans. We had a game that's definitely not for the faint of heart. We covered the various classes that will be available in the next Game of Thrones game. We looked at one of the biggest survival RPGs of the year, inspired by a true story. We saw the latest entry in Ubisoft's Saga, which has already stirred some controversy online. We witnessed the return of one of Capcom's great classics, and from what we saw in the gameplay, it looks better than ever. And we had another title created by the mastermind behind the medium. Poland and game development, always an explosive combination. Before you go to bed, comment, like, bell, subscribe. Drop a like on the video, share it with your friends, and on your social media. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much for your support, and see you in the next video.